So, Stephen Crowder decided to do a video on Renee Good to try and debunk some of the claims and prove that she wasn't murdered. Now, I've been a bit ill recently, but I couldn't resist taking this one up for you. Unfortunately for Stephen, he's terrible at his job, and the video has loads of holes, so let's take a look.
Now, remember, when this was breaking while we were live yesterday, we didn't have all the information.
Right.
I'm very glad that everyone here usually takes the approach of being prudent. And we did, now we do have said information. At that point in time, the argument was our officials, they released a statement saying someone used their car as a weapon, hit an officer, and he acted in self-defense.
So this is a lie, right? And it's quite clever the way he's done it, because Trump, Kristi Noem, she's the one who shot the puppies, and J.D. Vance claimed that Renee was using her car as a weapon. But they haven't actually changed their position on that. No one's moved the goalposts here. The people who claimed that she was using her car as a weapon are still making that claim now, and they are lying.
Which brings us to the first claim. The argument started off with, this officer was hit. No, he wasn't. The claim was, no, she did not hit an officer. And of course, that was all over X and social like a cancer yesterday. Here's the truth. Of course she hit the officer.
But was contact actually made with the officer, Stephen? And if so, why are you so keen to cover it up as quickly as possible with that big rumble sticker? In actual fact, it only looks like she hit him from this angle because of how grainy the footage that he's showing you is. The New York Times already synchronized it with footage from the other angle, which shows that she didn't actually hit him at all. Look, they don't make contact.
President Trump and others said the federal agent was hit by the SUV, often pointing to another video filmed from a different angle. And it's true that at this moment in this grainy low-resolution footage, it does look like the agent is being struck by the SUV. But when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent is not being run over. In fact, his feet are positioned away from the SUV.
So if people were arguing in good faith, meaning if the left wanted to actually come to a solution, so the officer wasn't hit. Well, no, actually he was. Oh, okay, our bad, we're sorry. We'll try and do better next time. Instead, what did we see? Goalpost move!
Move the goalpost.
God, this really is political commentary for idiots. Like, that sound effect and the head movement he's doing there, that's the closest that you can get to, like, drawing with crayons. They actually think people watching this video are stupid. Like, they really think that the people who watch their show are really stupid, and it's all about reassuring those people that they're already right. Despite, all of the evidence.
And the second claim. Well, okay, so maybe the officer was hit, but she wasn't trying to hit the officer.
Wait, there it is.
I had my perception of what took place based on the vehicle and the vehicle's positioning. It does not appear that the individual's trying to ram anybody.
Okay.
Hold up a second, Stephen. You said the claim was maybe the officer was hit, but Jacob Frey just didn't say that.
I had my perception of what took place based on the vehicle and the vehicle's positioning. It does not appear that the individual's trying to ram anybody.
He didn't say she hit him, he said she wasn't trying to ram him. He didn't concede that the ICE officer was hit at all. If I say I'm trying to punch you, that sentence doesn't imply that I did punch you. It's a statement of intent.
Here's the truth. She did. But she did. Nope, stop, wait. She did. Full throttle. Notice the tire spin and the body tilt. And I want you to imagine yourself. When you leave a parking spot, do you typically spin your wheels and do you feel the vehicle roll back and to the right? Is that what usually happens at low speed, or does it happen when you smash the gas pedal?
I'm starting to become convinced that Stephen's never driven a car before. Yes, you reverse if you want to make a sharp turn. I love this because they show this footage of her turning her wheels away from him, very clearly not hitting him or aiming at him, and put like a little animation on the wheels as though the wheels aren't obviously pointing to the right. Also, this is where the first shot is fired. Look where his feet are. He has to lean in to shoot this young mother in the face. It just directly debunks everything Stephen is saying. He's so deep down the rabbit hole, he thinks this helps his argument.
Back and to the left. Sorry, I said right earlier.
That's what we call a Freudian slip. You accidentally told the truth and then had to correct yourself. We all saw which way the wheels were turning, Stephen. They didn't turn to the left, they turned to the right, away from him. In fact, we now have the other angle, which shows which way her hands were moving on the steering wheel. Your murder buddy fucked up by showing us the other angle. Fucking oops.
Also, again, context here. What do you think the officer heard with it being hit full throttle? You guys know the difference? The sound of a car with a very low, slow hum versus a loud roar? Yeah, that might actually cause you to panic, especially if you're being hit by a vehicle.
Okay, I say this about immigration a lot, but I can't solve the issue of conservatives being pussies. I can't solve the fact that conservatives have no balls. If a loud roar frightens you, you shouldn't be wandering around with a gun. But also, are you sure you want to include he panicked as a defense? Because, it seems to me that either he panicked or his actions were rational and justified, but it's going to be really tricky for you to try to argue both at the same time. It gets to a point where I'm just laughing at him.
But it doesn't matter because then goalpost move again.
Move the goalpost.
Which brings us to the third claim that they made. Well, okay, all right. So even if she did knowingly or reasonably, should expect to potentially hit the officer, she wasn't actively trying to kill him, though.
I don't know anyone whose position on this is that she was trying to hit him, but not trying to kill him. Does anyone actually think that, or is Stephen just making his argument seem better than it is by straw-manning his opponent's arguments, right? She didn't hit him, and Crowder's only evidence for that claim is the worst quality footage shot from as far away as possible, which has already been pretty thoroughly debunked by the New York Times.
Hitting is not killing, so the ICE officer, right, that can't be considered. He didn't act in self-defense.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
Again, Stephen acts like Jacob Frey said she hit him, but it wasn't self-defense because she wasn't trying to kill him. But Jacob Frey didn't say that. Jacob Frey simply said, there's no claim of self-defense. Again, that doesn't suggest she hit him. It doesn't even imply it.
It's interesting that he uses the word reckless because that brings us to the truth. Of course he acted in self-defense because at that moment in time, she'd already committed multiple crimes, including reckless driving.
Actually, driving past an ICE agent isn't a crime, and certainly not one worthy of the death penalty.
Including failure to obey a peace officer, including fleeing a peace officer.
So ICE aren't police officers. They don't have the same power as police officers. They're operating under civil powers, and they don't have the power to detain American citizens. I think maybe Crowder knows this because he keeps saying peace officers.
Obey a peace officer?
Which seems like a way to get out of saying police officers to me.
Obstructing traffic, you could argue stalk.
So we have footage of her waving the traffic through. She wasn't obstructing the traffic, and the obstructing traffic is also not a capital offense. You can't get the death penalty for that. Even if she was obstructing traffic, which she wasn't.
Because she continued to follow them. From what we know, assault with a dangerous weapon, that occurred after assault on a federal officer. Now you could add attempted murder.
Except that isn't true. Stephen, as the footage shows, she never assaulted anyone, and she's driving past the ICE agent. Driving past an ICE agent doesn't constitute attempted murder unless you're a complete fucking wet wipe.
Here's kind of a supplement that they've made to their claim here. There's another claim that they've made. And I told this man, author Don Winslow, that I would address him by name because he's such a piece of shit. I love it. So,
oof. You can hear in the background them realizing that this is the moment that they're being paid to laugh for. Like, Stephen pays to have people around him who pretend to like him, and you can really hear it when they have to pretend to laugh, because he's not funny. He's just not. He's not a good comedian. Or at least, he's not funny in the way he thinks he is.
There are quite a few people saying this. This is the one that got the most traction. Well, the wheels are aimed away from the officer, so he should see that. He could have easily seen that as a clear sign of intent. Here's Don Winslow writing about that. The wheels are fully turned away from the officer. Watch in slow-mo. We will. No intention, in my opinion, to hit anyone. Sole intention based on wheel/steering wheel to leave that scene, not a threat. Look at the wheel! Well, here's the truth.
You can see him gulp there when he realizes how brazenly he's gonna have to lie to you and tell you that you aren't actually seeing what you're seeing.
They were aimed at the officer. I don't know if you know, that's why she hit him.
Again, his whole argument rests on the lie that this grainy footage shows the ICE officer being hit, which it doesn't. The wheels are pointed away from him. It's probably time to give it up, Stephen. I'm not gonna lie, this is bad for you.
The wheels do then turn, which this officer would have had to witness within 0.79 seconds.
No, because she reverses and then turns her wheel. We actually have this on camera, Stephen. It's amazing you think you can lie about this. We have footage of her turning the wheel.
We decided to find the closest vehicle that we could to recreate this scenario. Exact angle, exact distance. I'll be the officer. Josh will be the attempted vehicular homicide assailant. And I can put this one to bed. Again, it matters because the goalposts have been moved, right? They started off with she didn't hit anyone.
That's still the position, Stephen. She didn't hit anyone. We have it on video.
But we'll go through all of them as to remove all doubt. Here you go, and draw your own conclusions.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Jesus Christ, look at him. Fucking hell.
The exact distance, exact angle where he would be. Should be able to see the wheel turn within that fraction of a second, right? I've chosen to use a...
Except you're just lying, Stephen. When he fires the first shot, which we have on video, his feet are to the left of the car. You are stood directly in front of the car. There's no ambiguity about it. The second two shots, he fired through the window as she passed him. He shot her twice through the side window, and he had to lean in to take the first shot. So the first shot is unjustifiable, but why the second two shots? Like, how would you justify that? He was trying to kill her to stop her from talking. There's no other explanation. And watching you try and defend this is embarrassing.
Tiny little Keltec unloaded. With a laser so you can see. So he's right here. All right, from here I can't see the wheel. He draws his gun and then, yeah, you try and hit me now. She comes forward a little bit, okay?
Except that Renee Good reversed first. She didn't go forward. When Stephen tells Josh to do this, he's doing something that didn't happen. If Renee had driven forward and the ICE agent was there, he'd have been thrown over the bonnet of the car. He wasn't, because her wheels were turned away from him. Again, we have this on camera.
There you go, that's enough. Collapses. He has his hand.
So when Stephen is stood here, it's just a small detail, but he has both hands on his gun, which the ICE agent doesn't have. He's shooting with one hand, and he's also stood to the left of the vehicle where he fires the first shot. Right? Not where Stephen stood. Stephen stood directly in front of the vehicle. If Josh accelerated towards Stephen at this point, he would break both of Stephen's legs most likely, which is not what happened to the ICE agent. Watch very carefully where the ICE agent's feet are and how he has to lean over to fire into the front of the car. Stephen is lying. He knows he's lying and is hoping that showing you video from further away or worse quality video will hide the evidence. It's not gonna work, dude. Like, we've got you on video. I don't know what to say. Stephen genuinely thinks that you're stupid. Like, he thinks that you, and he thinks that his viewers, more importantly, are stupid. He thinks he can show them a video of a murder and they will pretend that it's not a murder. That's not the way it works. Stephen, be better at your job. You're shit at this.